Hi, everyone. It's Joey Rittenauer with Renovations and Dependable Building here in Blacksburg, Christiansburg area of Virginia. Today, I'm joined by Megan Alderson with Reico Kitchen and Bath up in Salem, Virginia. We frequently work with Megan on designs for kitchen and bath projects. We thought it'd be helpful to have Megan come on board and maybe find out some common questions homeowners have, concerns, and have a designer's eye shed a little light on a few things. So welcome, Megan.
Thank you.
And if you want, maybe how about a little bio on you? Introduce yourself and what you do.
Yes, yes. So I have been working in the industry since 2018. I studied residential design at Virginia Tech, and I've been working with Reico since 2020. So a couple of years under my belt here in the industry.
Great. So listen, what do you enjoy the most about doing kitchen and bath designs?
I did not think this was going to be my path. I'm very much a left-brained person. So I think the interesting thing about this job is I get to use the left side, the analytical side of my brain a lot more than you would think because I get to take a space that is not working for somebody, kind of figure out the things that are going to improve the space. And then it's almost like a puzzle putting all those pieces together to come up with a design that is going to serve them better. And then the fun part of putting together beautiful finishes, patterns, textures, just those two kind of going hand in hand is probably the most unique and enjoyable part of my job.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's that you get all the fun parts. I see. You know, minus the dust and the dirt and all
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
you can
sure,
handle
sure.
that. I'll do the fun stuff.
What are some things, as you engage with homeowners, be it through a contractor or through your own company there, what are some things that homeowners often misunderstand as they're entering the process?
I think the biggest misconception is that it is truly a process. It's going to take multiple meetings, it's going to take design revisions, it's going to take quite some time for us to learn each other and for us to figure out exactly what is going to work best for you in that space. And I think oftentimes customers want it done as soon as possible. So they're rushing
Yeah.
that process. And then we get kind of on the back end of the process where now everything's installed and maybe it's not exactly the way that they thought it was going to be, some kind of miscommunication on expectation. And that is definitely not what we want. We want you to be happy with the project. So I think not rushing that process and letting it kind of breathe and be what it needs to be is, I would say, the most important thing that people misunderstand.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you phrased that the way you did, because I think we run into kind of a similar thing on the you know, production side
Yeah.
is to pump the brakes and gather everything up front. We have found since starting with you and all the our process has shifted with design and development, and I think the customer experience level has gone up. While we do have to get out in front of things and put more time into that, we can't just start swinging hammers too quick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So here we are in 2026. So what are some of the biggest kind of cabinet, if we just kind of focus on cabinets for a minute, cabinet trends you're seeing these days?
So I think trends are interesting because they're cyclical. So things will go out of style and then they'll come back around and they'll go back into style and maybe they're just a little bit different than they were before. We were living, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, in the world of sterile white and gray everything. And
Yep.
now everything has kind of shifted to the opposite end of that spectrum where warmer tones are coming back into style, wood tones, especially wood with a unique grain pattern like a hickory or an oak or something like that. And maybe it's not your entire kitchen, but maybe it's an island or a hood or an
Sure.
accent piece just to bring in some warmth and some texture into that space. So warm whites, warm cream tones, taupes, all of those types of things are really popular right now. And seeing premium metal finishes like matte black, gold tones, brass is coming back. All of those things I would say right now. And color itself, just greens and blues. And we were living in
Yeah.
that sterile environment for so long that now people, again, opposite end of the spectrum, let's throw some color in there. Let's do a green island, or let's do, it's fun.
So what are when you're working with homeowners on cabinet design and such, what are some of their biggest surprises about cabinets? I think I know what the big one is on my end when I start talking to them, but what are the big surprises that customers realize when you talk?
I think people are very overwhelmed with the amount of options that are out there. That would probably be the main thing, and probably the cost, the budgetary costs that cabinets cost. It's just like everything else. It's probably going to be more expensive than you were anticipating. So
That's
I think
exactly
it's
what I was thinking.
yeah. I think it's important before you even start that design process to come up with that budgetary number in your head. And maybe it's an estimated number, but that will save a lot of time and energy for everyone. We don't want to go through the entire design process and then present you with something that is outside of even the ballpark of where you were trying to be. So I think coming up with that budgetary number up front is really important.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. We try to, even with an initial phone call with a prospective client, kind of attack that elephant in the living room just a little bit, even if it's a really broad bracket of
Yeah,
sorts. Um, for one thing, it can make somebody go like, "Oh, wow, we didn't realize that we're not going to be able to do this right now." And then, we're not using up their time as well as our own on something that may not happen.
right.
So yeah, that's a really good point. So explain to folks what is the difference between, say, a stock, semi-stock, and custom cabinetry line.
Yeah, so you have so we'll start with stock. Stock is your kind of basic cabinet line. It's what a lot of builders, a lot of volume builders are going to be using. So it is, not a lot of style and color options. You just have a handful of options there. But it would work for a basic design with basic appliances. It's going to be your most cost effective option. But on the flip side of that, you don't have a lot of flexibility on anything outside of standard sizing.
Yeah.
And then a semi-custom cabinet is going to be above that. So you'll jump up a little bit in price, but you get a lot more style and color options. You get a lot more cabinet specific options. We can modify widths and heights and all of those types of things to make it work better for your space. And then if you are using a more premium appliance, like a built-in appliance, a microwave drawer, or a built-in refrigerator or something like that, that's going to require some type of specialty items that we can't find in a stock cabinet line. So a semi-custom cabinet line is pretty much where you're going to have to land if you're planning on using a premium appliance package. And then also the construction of a semi-custom cabinet is going to be a little beefed up more so than just a stock cabinet. So more attention to detail on the finishing process, and then more attention to detail on the construction of that cabinet itself. And then above that, you have a full custom cabinet where pretty much sky's the limit. We can do whatever you want with the space. Pretty much endless options as far as finishes go, and more of that furniture grade finish, like a piece of furniture for the construction of a custom cabinet. So kind of tiers there of stock's going to be kind of your entry level point, and then all the way up to a full custom.
Okay. So, and we've kind of touched on a few of these points already, but like if I'm a homeowner and I'm gonna anticipate taking step one, contact either a general contractor or straight to kitchen bath designer. We touched on budget. What are some other things I should probably have kind of already information I would be helpful if I've already gathered before I make that call?
Yeah, I think inspiration photos are really important to kind of um, communicate exactly what you like and the styles that you like. And when you bring me an inspiration photo, the first thing I'm going to say is, what do you like about this photo? Is it the color? Is it the style? What exactly are the elements of this photo that you're drawn to? Likely this picture has come from like Pinterest or House or Instagram or something like that, where, celebrities, who have however much money they could possibly need, have remodeled their kitchen. And we can take elements of this photo and make it work for you in your space within your budget number. So I think inspiration photos are really important. And then I think you also need to start thinking about other pieces of the puzzle. So, not just cabinetry, not just countertops. You need to start thinking about your flooring because that's going to make a big
Mhm.
impact as well. And then, tile. Are we doing tile backsplash? Are you doing all of those types of things that make the puzzle kind of come together?
Okay. And your now on my side, I think House and Pinterest are great and all that. However, I would much rather people bring their House and Pinterest pictures to you than me. But that might be a whole nother discussion. So, in your mind, what kind of investments are worth an extra cost to find a few extra dollars?
Yeah, I think that a more going with a better construction on the cabinet is important. So if you can swing going for a plywood box construction as opposed to a standard furniture board or press board box is worth the investment. I also think accessibility type things like rollout shelves, storage solution type things are also they are more expensive than if you didn't do those
Or
things, but they make accessibility way better, and then organization way better. So I think those are important. And then a cool higher end countertop. I think the countertop makes a really big statement and a really big impact on the overall space. So I would say if you can swing it, I would go with something, a little bit nicer for your countertop.
Yeah, I agree. On our end, the labor piece of the puzzle, um, it costs when I install a $100 cabinet or $1,000 cabinet, that it's basically the same cost for that
Right.
installation. So why, if you can, why not step that up? So on the flip side of that, and I think a concern folks have sometimes when we get into numbers, like where are some areas that you think that some savings can be pulled?
Yeah, I think probably the inverse of all of those things. So maybe you go with the standard box construction that's still covered under warranty instead
Mhm.
of beefing up that construction. And you don't go with any kind of add on things like the rollout shelves or cutlery dividers or anything like that. That's kind of an extra add on. There's certainly things that you can add later on. So maybe we don't want to do it right now, but you could always have it in your back pocket later down the road when you're a little bit more comfortable and you can do those things. You could certainly add them. It's not something you have to do up front. And then I would also say maybe you go for a more entry level countertop option. I think there's got to be some kind of balance. You don't want to go, sky's the limit on everything if you're working within a budget. So maybe you go higher on some things and lower on other things to kind of have that happy medium.
Okay, great. So let's swing over to like functionality a little bit. What makes a kitchen function? Is that like you have like a few standard function patterns? Is it up to the individual? Are we still using the kitchen triangle in every case? Like, I started in the 1940s. Where do you think of functionality?
I think it's so funny. We were talking about the triangle in the office the other day, and I think it's just something that is so ingrained into our minds that I'm
Mhm.
not sitting there when I start working on your kitchen for the first time going, "Okay, what's the triangle?" Like,
Okay.
it's in my DNA. So, I'm not really thinking about the triangle, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
I
sure.
think it's mostly specific to each individual because each space is different. Each person lives differently in their house. I think working with a designer is how you get the most functional kitchen because they're going to
Mhm.
take your wish list of things that you want and incorporate it into the design to make it better serve you. So I think it is a much more individualized thing. Again, different spaces. People live in their houses differently. Some people cook a lot, some people don't cook at all. So it's just going to be
Yeah. Yeah.
to the person, I think.
I think I've seen lately, a lot of more people are requesting like I guess because Keurigs have gotten so big, like this coffee bar area where the coffee maker's not sitting right next to the stove, but it has to have its own little space.
Mhm.
Do you see that a lot? That and
Yeah,
islands.
coffee bars have become a big thing, especially if you have the space where you can dedicate something like that and you're not
Mhm.
taking away from storage or from anything else in your space. Especially too, maybe you're cooking in the kitchen, you're cooking breakfast and someone else that lives with you wants to make a cup of coffee and you're not right on top of each other.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that is nice having it separated.
Okay. So what is one thing, if you and this is going to be tough. I don't know if I could answer this, but what is one thing you wish every homeowner knew?
um, that is a tough one. I think I think some people have been burned in the past by doing remodels or working with
Mhm.
contractors or working with, and it makes them a little gun shy on the process. Um, and I think it's important to do your research and find someone that you truly trust and someone that has good reviews and someone that has kind of that backlog of client recommendations because we're the people that really and truly are passionate about this and we want to
Sure.
make sure
Yeah.
that you love your space. Like this is my career. Like this is what I've put all my time and energy
Mhm.
into. So it's important to me that you love it. Like I want you to walk away loving it. So I think that that is important for people to know that
Yeah.
maybe you've had a bad experience in the past, but not everybody is like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And circling back a little bit, you were talking about some recent cabinet trends. What are other trends you kind of are seeing maybe in 25 and now here into 26? Gosh, 26 is pushing half over already.
I
What are some
know.
other recent trends outside of cabinets you're seeing a lot of?
A lot of natural stone countertops, I would say. So we were like very quartz heavy for a really long time. And now I think a natural stone countertop is coming back into play where it's very unique and gives kind of an organic element to the space. I love a natural stone countertop. I just think there's nothing else like it. It's unique to you and your space. That slab is likely not an identical slab to another piece of countertop in somebody else's house. So I think that that is a really cool element as well. It is something though that you want to get your eyes on and you want to see the full slab before it's installed. And I would not just go off of a
Yeah.
little sample.
Yeah, yeah, it's too late at that point, folks. Yeah.
Yeah,
So you're seeing more, granite down on that side. How about granite versus quartz? Are we shifting more, do you think, towards granites?
yeah. I think more towards
Yeah.
granite and quartzite. Granite and
Yeah.
quartzite, I
Okay.
mean, Taj Mahal is all
Mhm.
over everywhere, which is a quartzite. It's a beautiful brown, warm tones, grit. It has a little bit of cool tones depending on the slab. So it's a beautiful, just neutral. It is, I would say, considered an exotic stone. So it is higher up there on the budget.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
there's a
cool.
lot of quartz options that have come out to try and mimic the look of that stone. So I think that is a big trend right now. I also think that mixed metals is becoming very popular. So maybe you have two different metal finishes working together within the same space. So maybe you have black faucet and black cabinet hardware, and then you do stainless steel everything else, or chrome everything else, or gold, and seeing those two kind of play
Oh,
together.
really? Yeah.
Some people are opposed to that. Some people are interested, but maybe not sure. So it's a it's a different thing, but it's cool. It adds some variety.
Well, yeah, that's interesting. Um, I haven't, on production seen a lot of mixed metal yet, but that's interesting. I want to keep that in mind. Uh, so as we get kind of close to wrapping up, what are some other services? Talk a bit about Reico.
Yeah.
We'll do a little partner shout out here. What are some other services that are provided by Reico Cabinetry?
Yeah, so we have a full showroom in Salem. It's actually recently being updated. We've taken out, I think, like 6 displays, and we're updating them because trends change.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
we've pulled some stuff out. It's a beautiful, basically brand new showroom. We have cabinetry samples, countertop samples. We also partner with Kohler and Moen, so we are certified Kohler Moen dealers. So plumbing fixtures, appliances, Whirlpool appliances, Frigidaire appliances, Miele. We can get a lot, pretty much anything that you need for a turnkey project. And then also in-house designers.
Okay. So, when when our customers contact us directly and we feel there is a design, development need, we have started partnering up. Um, so we will be contacting you as needed. But what if, how can people contact you directly?
Yeah, so our website, www.com or www.reico.com. And then we actually have 20 some odd locations up and down the East Coast. If you're local to the NRV or Roanoke Salem area, you can find our specific location, and then all of my contact information is listed there. You can also see my
Okay,
portfolio. All of those things are on the website.
okay, great. And that's Reico, Reico,
CO.
correct?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, Megan, I want to thank you so much for carving out time. I know you're busy, for joining us on this. We just wanted to, put this together, a little education for our prospective clients. And is there anything else you want to add or speak to when it comes to the whole process?
I thank you for asking. I mean, this is the asking these questions. I think it's really important to get kind of this information in front of prospective clients so they can have a better idea of what they're getting into when they start a
Mhm.
remodel. And I really value our partnership. So thank you for that as well.
Yeah, well, thank you. It has definitely made a difference in our business and our customer satisfaction, which we care deeply about. We really want that to be up there every bit as much as craftsmanship. So thanks again for joining us, and
Thank you.
we'll be in touch soon.
Thank you guys.